You ready?
Live from the Asbury Park Music Foundation, and now presented by Mogo. This is OneMore, and I'm your host, Brian Erickson. Whoa!
Hell yes.
Not a bad deal, right? Yeah, so this is the beginning of season 3. Each week we bring in 2 new guests, we sit them down, and we find out why they do what they do. And this week is no exception. We have singer-songwriter Aaron Kessler joining us all the way from Nashville. And the greatest band of all time, We're Ghosts Now. But first, and as always, Chris Dubrow.
Yo, you ran that. That was well done.
Welcome back. Welcome
Good to
back.
be back.
Welcome
Such an honor.
back.
I love everyone else got
This is
rapturous
great,
applause.
right?
And I got like lukewarm at best.
But first, and as always, Chris Dubrow.
Please boo. No, I wanted boos. I got a couple of boos. Good to be back, Brian. How are you?
I'm good, man. You know, how do you,
What do you got?
they booed me at a Wonderful Year.
Yeah, did you organize that?
Wasn't that great?
Yeah, I always want to get booed on stage. Fern's gotten me booed on stage
It's
like
great
twice now.
because I cued the audience. I was like, oh yeah, when I'm going to say, hey, what's up? It's Brian Erickson. And then everybody boos. But you did my job for me from the stage because it was, the Burns played and then I played.
Never heard of him.
And you were like, yeah, Brian Erickson. And then the whole room starts booing. Oh, God, it's just like let the joy just wash over me.
The thing is, like, it's part of being a musician is like, even then, like, we're performers, so, like, all we do is just stand on stages and get applause, and that's, like, insane to me.
Well, because
so, like, getting
it
booed is
almost
a nice
feels
is
more,
like change of pace.
Yeah, it's like...
it feels more real.
Yeah, and you kind of... Because nobody really thinks to boo you, especially at this level.
Yeah.
So you have to go up to people and engage them.
Yeah, you have to get them to boo
You have to be like, hey, look, I'm Brian, I'm Chris, we're going to play. And if you could boo us, that'd be great.
That'd be so wonderful. Please boo.
But,
It's like the opposite of Jeb
Bush. Yeah,
Please blue.
yeah.
Please blue.
So how are you, man? How was your break?
My break was good.
Yeah.
Did a lot of things. Did not a lot of things.
We saw each
hanging
other a
out.
few
We saw each
times.
other a couple of times. We had a couple of band practice, a couple of hangouts.
Yeah.
A recording session or two.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah,
Did
something
we?
like that. You were recording. I was hanging out with
That's
you
true.
while you were
That's
doing
true.
it.
Yeah.
This is actually a very special episode for me because I realized today we're Ghosts Now. Guests tonight, old friends. They were the first band I played with in Asbury Park twice. So back when I was in Rose Boulevard and I didn't even know about the Asbury Park music scene because I was a New Brunswick basement guy, we played the Yacht Club with Where Ghosts Now. And then cut to 2 years later, I'm playing with Ashley McKinley and Matt Fernicola for their birthday celebration, and it was Where Ghosts Now again. So,
Wow.
Full circle. I've played with them at the Yacht Club. Both times I've been integrated into this Asbury Park music scene from which I cannot escape.
Yeah. I've played with the Ghosts at the Yacht Club.
That's a good place to see them. I mean, how many times do you think between us have we played shows with Where Ghosts Now? Statistically, a bunch.
A good amount of times.
Or Max is saying
9. he did this and then he like knocked one off.
Yeah, he thought about it. It's like, you know what? Not even 10. 9. So yeah.
I mean, that's probably accurate.
Played with them a
Like
bunch.
10 times maybe.
It's ridiculous.
Give or take.
I mean, no, it's just insane. It's insane to think about like how many shows we've played and like, you end up playing with your friends a bunch and like, I've seen the Mercury Brothers probably like more times than like realistically I've seen like my grandfather in the past 2 years.
Wow. I'm sorry?
Yes. Shout out, Richard. Hope you're doing okay. But we're not here to talk about my grandfather, Richard. We're here to talk about a bunch of other things, Brian.
Yeah.
The first thing I want to talk about is our first sponsor. Ladies and gentlemen, OneMore is brought to you by Mogo. Brian! Oh, yeah, they're going for it. Jim, can you please bring me my taco? Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Jim at the Asbury Park
Jim
Music
Lenscold,
Foundation.
everybody.
Oh, yeah, that's a taco. All right, Brian, did you hear that? It's a rumbling in my stomach that can only be satisfied by the savory goodness of Mogo Korean fusion tacos. Oh, I said, quick, somebody get me some mogo. I didn't read the ad copy. I have mogo already. Featuring fresh homemade ingredients, family recipes, and a variety of menu options, Mogo is bringing traditional Korean flavor to the masses. Mogo is a proud partner of the Asbury Park Music Foundation. For the past 3 years, Mogo has been leading sponsor of Asbury Park Live, a free weekly summer concert series run in conjunction with the Asbury Park Music Foundation. This event series not only showcases emerging and established Asbury Park acts, but also raises funds for youth music education, including the launch of the Latin Music Summer Camp last year. So visit any one of their 2 locations, Cookman Avenue or the Asbury Park Boardwalk, for casual sit-down dining or takeout. The prices are always fair and the food is always fantastic. Mogo Korean fusion tacos. I can fit 3 in my mouth at the same time. That is not their slogan. Brian.
He's a singer and songwriter, a composer, a teacher, and a member of the beloved band Aracuda.
Yes.
Let's welcome Aaron Kessler.
You're going to sit there. I'm going to sit over here.
And Chris is going to eat his Mogo taco.
I had so much
Thanks for having me, guys.
started. If I'm going to eat it anyway.
Oh yeah, I've had like
I've
I didn't have the shell, but I probably had at least like 3 or 4 tacos worth of Mogo before.
What's your favorite one?
I like the tofu because I don't eat meat, so that's
I
my
like the
only
I was excited
one.
that there was tofu here.
Yeah, but it's
I mean, don't
it's,
tell me, but I don't think we're allowed to do that in country music.
Oh yeah, you're from Nashville.
Are you not allowed to eat tofu in country?
They're not allowed to eat. The ratio of meat to vegetable is like in that part of the country.
I had some pork too, so.
Okay, well that's
Listen to
good.
my music,
Please.
That's so you are in. Are you from New Jersey or?
I'm from Virginia, but when I lived with Matthew Fernicola.
Who's that?
Some of you know.
Who's Matt Fernicola?
Guy behind the camera.
He's not here. I don't believe. I'll
played in a
believe him when I see him.
In college with him, and then pretty much every winter and summer, come stay at his parents' house.
Oh,
get
yeah?
delicious food.
Excellent. Are the Fernicolas hospitable folks?
They are some of the nicest people I know. Saw them today.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent. Good cooks.
Great.
Yeah.
Way
I've never.
Way better than Fern, but.
Well, that's.
But I
guess
still love
that's
you.
something that doesn't get passed down. Then.
Is this going to be an airing of grievances against Fern? Because
No,
that can take
I
over the
love
whole
Fern.
episode. A lot of things to say to you.
All right, mozzarella stick.
So I've seen Aracuda now twice in the last 3 years. Your final show and your reunion show.
Because now you guys are back together forever. You're going to play weekly. We're so excited.
Well, no. We were saying to Fern like at the reunion show. Or I was saying to Fern, or maybe Fern was saying to me, in that very casual, like, yeah, now maybe we'll get together in like 2-3 years from now and do another show. Is that something you could see yourself?
I would
being a part of?
definitely be down to do another show in 3 years. We just need to make sure Eddie and Roland come back for this one too.
Excellent. And how did it feel to be playing with them again?
Oh, it was awesome. I mean, our bass player, he used to be our bass player. We didn't know he was going to be at the reunion show. He walked in one song in. I thought he was in London, and he just walks on to the stage, and I still kind of don't really believe that he was here, but I'm glad Joe Pomerico from Telegraph Hill Records got it on.
Former guest of the show,
Yeah.
too.
I'm glad he got it on camera because my face just something like.
Oh, yeah,
that
there was a
good.
look of
Yeah.
sheer
Yeah,
exasperation
everyone
on
on
your
stage
face.
was utterly
I think
shocked.
Fern fell down.
Besides OM, but you can't really shock that boy. He was fine.
Well, he was already seated
Yeah,
as
he
well,
couldn't- he
so
couldn't-
you
That
can't
helps,
really,
that helps,
yeah. But let me see how that's the Mogo right there.
That's good stuff.
Get involved. Like, when did Aracuda start? Like, were you guys together doing stuff before then, or was Aracuda kind of the start of things? Or
I met Palm through Aracuda. It's
Okay.
probably the first time we made a trip down. It's because Fern had already been involved with Palm, recording with him, and then when I met down, we were just all hanging out together. And then he's taken what he's been doing and just spreading it to the record label and
yeah,
successful career that he has now. It's just I've just been around, just coming back every winter and summer.
There you go. Now, what I want to ask though too, when the band split, because that was still, and appropriately enough, we're Ghosts now, who we're going to talk to in a few minutes, were the openers for that show. What was the conversation like, kind of deciding to split the group up? Because I know obviously, a couple guys kind of moved away. But you know, I'm always curious about bands that decide to say, you know what, no, it's over. What are, what those conversations are like?
Oh man. Well, for me, I was freaking out about it for like weeks because they're all like my best friends.
Yeah.
Like it feels when you're in a band with somebody, it feels like you're in a relationship. Because we lived together for part of the time we were in Boston. It's like, oh, maybe they're not going to want to be my friend or hang out with me if I tell them that I want to move to Nashville and do country music. So I kind of freaked out, and then I told them, like, oh, that's cool. We get it. We wish you, luck. It was as amicable as I could have hoped it to be.
Well,
and obviously, we were still friends because we just played a show
clearly.
last week.
Yeah, and that was such a good show. And I mean, again, just being in the audience for that, feeling... you kind of made the whole room kind of feel like they were part of it, if that makes sense. And that, seemed to sort of carry over. Like there was just a real, a real sense of dynamics, like the band just has so much charisma. And I guess, I take it maybe that's because everybody has sort of elevated themselves since then. So
I feel like part of that's also just playing in that room that we played so many times and having the people there that I used to play with when I was in the band before I left. But it's, I don't know, feeding off of that, which is just fun. You don't get to do that all the time. Have a room of people that came out just to see you play.
Now, I want to pivot because, obviously, like we could talk about, Fern anytime, but but you're out there in Nashville.
Or never. We could talk about Fern never.
Too
late to you.
Well, we could stop talking about Fern now, and because you're out in Nashville now, and you're like killing it, and you're doing a few different things. You're singer-songwriter, you're a recording artist, you're composing jingles, you're teaching others.
Somebody visited my website.
Well, I mean, I gotta do something, right? It's but how does that experience, kind of striking it out on your own, compare to the communal experience of being in a band?
It's definitely different. I like it a lot, but it's I don't know, being here and doing stuff with Aracuda, it's nice to have people who can help you get things done more quickly. So I feel like when I'm doing stuff alone, it takes maybe like 3 times as long as it would otherwise. It's just harder to reach people, but it seems to be going in the right direction, which I'm thankful for. Yeah.
And do you feel like being so multifaceted as you are now, is that kind of like the game?
Yeah.
Like you feel like you have to do all this stuff?
Absolutely. And that goes with, I play like 8 different instruments just because there's so many great guitarists in Nashville that I'd never get hired. So that's why I learned pedal steel, dobro, banjo, just because it's cheaper to hire me to play like 8 things than it is to hire 8 people to play one thing. True. That's the only reason that I stay busy.
No. And, what about focus? Like, do you feel like, doing so much, being involved in so much, do you feel as though that ever or could ever kind of compromise that sense of focus and that drive to, kind of push yourself to succeed?
These are good questions. But yes, definitely. Because right now I've come to that realization that I can't do a whole bunch of different things at a high level. So I'm really right now just starting to zone in on my own music and trying to make that the career where I can play songs for people that I wrote and make that the thing that I do.
Nice. And you've this, if I'm not mistaken, this is your last stop, right? You've been out here in Jersey for a couple weeks. Obviously, the Aracuda show about a week and a half ago now. But you've done some other stuff. I mean, everybody seemed to kind of come together, and when I guess Fern sort of got on the horn and told a whole bunch of people that you were coming and that you needed shows and places to kind of play and do stuff and everything like that. Tell us about just the experience your last couple weeks
And
here.
it's been awesome. I mean, Fern really set up everything because I hit him up over the summer, I think, asking about just advice on playing out and live. It's like, you should come to my place, stay with me. I'll book all your shows. And they're like, oh, okay.
And what
then
did you
it ended up
what did you
happening.
end up doing between shows and like
Yeah.
studio dates and interviews like this? Like, what's the number? What do you end up with?
Well, for like number of
Like
show,
of dates, I guess you could say.
I think there's like about 6 shows. Take two weeks of doing stuff and then studio sessions. So I've been pretty busy and been having a really great time hanging out with my old buds. Thank you, Fern. Great person.
Yeah, no, that's
Welcome.
and I want to talk about too. You've got a song called "I'll Be Your Rebound," and I guess would you say, and maybe the gallery back there could agree, or Chris, if your album, I feel like around here, if your album or your EP gets about 10,000 streams, that seems to be the sort of like local standard, give or take, for being like, yeah, we did a good job. This one song has over 100,000 plays. So I guess my question is, how do you feel, how does it feel to know that so many people just continue to listen to your music?
Oh, it's awesome to know that people are listening to what I'm making. And it's the first one that I've ever released, so I didn't have any expectations. So I guess, like, on the one hand, it's great that it's the first thing I did is doing so well. But now all the other ones, if they don't reach it, then I'm going to judge those.
I mean, they're
But
still in like the
it's
5
awesome,
figures. It's not like, oh
It's-
yeah,
yeah.
this one like 100,000, and the other you get the little less than 1,000.
No, yeah, it's awesome, and I'm super thankful that people are out there listening to it.
How has that like does that help? Like, how do you feel like that helps you sort of raise your profile as a as a performing songwriter?
I feel like it definitely helps people to be able to go, oh, this guy actually has done something that people care about. And also it helps me. It's like, oh, people want to hear what I'm making. It kind of fuels me to go make more music, which is really good because sometimes it can be challenging to always feel that people want to hear what you're doing.
Yeah.
Especially when you play shows where it's more like background music sometimes.
Oh yeah, I mean Nashville. You go to some places in Nashville, and depending on the room, there's music in the basement, music in the bar, music on the top floor,
And then music next door
and
for
then
the
music
next
next
10
door.
bars down the street.
Some guy busking, right outside. So you've got within like a 20 foot radius, 4 or 5 different people performing. So you feel like something like that can and does set you apart from, respectfully, like all the other noise.
I think it definitely helps. I mean,
Cool. I have one more question for you. And then we're gonna get to hear a couple of your songs in a little bit. You get back to Nashville. What's the first thing you're doing when you get there?
oh, I'm going to curl up in my bed. I haven't seen that thing in like 3.5 weeks. I'm going to go to sleep. It's going to be great.
Cool. Well, appreciate your time.
Awesome. Thank
Aaron
you for having
Kessler,
me.
thanks so much for being here.
Pleasure. Should I look at that? Matt, should I look at that camera?
Sure.
Yeah.
How old were you guys when you were doing that?
I mean,
what was that about?
It's hard to remember.
I think
it's
I
like
was
2007 or so. So
Yeah?
it was
Must have
like
been 19.
22, 23-ish.
Man.
Yeah, me and Max, we've always been playing respectively. It just kind of like we're Ghost now, just kind of formed naturally.
Yeah.
Fell into like 2 other people that were really into what we were doing, and then boom, it happened.
And what brought Jake into the fold?
Well,
You're not just gonna
I guess
sit here and
there's
eat tacos, Jake.
No, I'm not even eating tacos right now.
Can somebody get Jake a taco?
Taco treat.
There is a
so many
there is a
already, but I'll do it.
fraction of a taco.
Aren't you one of the sick ones? Are you a sick boy?
I'm not a sick boy.
Okay.
I'm the sick boy.
But
like,
we're a camera. Community-wise.
So while he's tacoing,
Well, I guess real quick, the drummer that before me, now I'm eating chicken. I shouldn't be talking.
drummer.
It's all right. It's all right. This is essentially a public access. this is public access television, fellas. This is fine.
The drummer before me is like my really like one of my best friends' brother, who is like we're also best friends, Joey Palmina, and then it was before I drummed really, and then I was like, hey, you were like looking for a new drummer. and then I directed him that way, and then they were awesome for a while, and then towards the end, like, we were just jamming in our parents' apartment, like a 2-bedroom apartment with like us in the back room. I had like an electric drum kit, and I guess Joey wasn't around or something, and we made like, you had like the 4 new songs.
Yeah.
I remember them in my mind. I forget what they're called. But they
Was
were, like,
one of them the exorcism of Fat Mike?
That was definitely, yeah. Wow. I forgot.
But I guess that's when I started playing,
sometimes.
right? And that was like when he started playing, and then I filled in for one show. And I remember I was like drumming, and I was like, wait, I can't drum actually. And then that was like how that
Weird
was
time
fun.
to remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jake is like mostly self-taught, so.
Wow, and you're excellent. Are you all self-taught?
I took 2 years of lessons and
Okay.
skipped around from now and then.
Cool. What about you, Max?
I spent like $400,000 on like private lessons and stuff.
Oh yeah,
It didn't really pan out. They were all in the clarinet, so I figured the bass is like close enough.
close it.
nuts
Yeah,
on the
bass, clarinet, but not the bass clarinet.
No, that's very different.
Very
I
different.
couldn't afford
Very
that.
different. No. So in those early days too, as the band started to form, you also had Andrea Scaniello on keys and vocals.
Yeah.
And now she's kind of off, busy getting famous with the High Waisted.
Big and huge.
Yeah.
How does it feel? How does it make you feel to see a former member doing so well?
Oh, we're so bitter about it.
Honestly, aside from bitter, we couldn't be more excited. Honestly, it's just awesome to see the growth. Like they didn't just fizzle out and just quit. She just kept with it, and she's an incredibly talented artist that, aside from playing with High Waisted, has her own solo music, and she's amazing.
Amazing voice, keys, all of it.
Yeah, and I mean
taller
she's taller now. Oh my God,
Gotta go
Max
up.
with the one-liners, man.
That's all I'm here. I wrote all this.
Yeah, I know. Max isn't even holding up.
Is this close enough? Is this close enough?
But you.
The top is like that.
I'm not a TV guy. I'm a clarinet.
Yeah, he plays bass. He doesn't know
He's
what
a
mics
bass
are. It's okay.
clarinetist, Chris.
Do I have to look at it?
I'm a TV guy. I'm a clarinet guy.
This is it.
That's,
Yes, clarinetist.
that's
All
the
right.
quote of the night, fellas.
I hear you guys. I see the microphone. I'm focused.
You asked for this. I hope you did.
Yeah. I think we're
we're
in Florida still.
season 3, everybody. Season 3.
Ew.
But okay, so you and she's still on that first record a little bit. Like her voice,
Yeah.
you kind of hear that on the first record. I wanted to kind of talk a little bit about how your sound has evolved over the years. I know I brought up the exorcism of Fat Mike, kind of an early, 2011, 2012, something like that.
Around then.
Probably a
We did change
little
that name
earlier.
eventually to Skeletons. We still don't play it
Yeah.
often.
Yeah, but about 2011, 2012.
Sometimes though.
But there's, even though I would say like the production isn't quite, what your records are now, but the sound, like the sort of root of the sound is still there. You guys kind of just had that, like how did you arrive at that? Like, was there just a sort of innate sense of direction right from the get-go, or was it more conscious, like we're gonna do XYZ and try and sound this particular way? How did that happen?
It was definitely more of like just a natural kind of fell into it kind of thing. That's literally nothing we do is planned, nothing's on purpose. So it was kind of like really just the music I was really into at the time that really just gave it that little kick. I kind of like
Because you play that. If you played it for somebody now, they'd say, "Oh yeah, that's We're Ghosts Now. That sounds like them."
We again, you just pull a lot from the influences, and like bands like yourself. Everything that we're around, you guys bring us up just as much as we contribute back to our our scene that we're part of.
Yeah.
So
I
it's
mean
just a natural
that was great. I mean, we had you on our release show, and that was
much
not by
fun.
accident.
So
Like
much
that
fun.
was 100%, because this is you guys are certainly one of those bands that we looked at as I guess kind of like the sentiment Chris said too. Like people we want to be around.
Oh,
You guys are like our
That's both
family.
ways, yeah.
Yeah.
You guys
Love
are
you around
definitely
each
like
I've
family.
I've slept on your couch many times.
Well, we
sleep
got
on
new
your
couches.
Really?
You have to
Well,
try them
half.
out.
Oh, I can't wait. Yes,
Pretty great.
dude. Just let me know. I'll be there.
Door's always open, literally.
I
We don't
think
lock
also
up.
though, like with besides our doors are locked, so like don't try and come in.
Don't lie to the
But,
public.
What's your address?
after.
Stay tuned later. The link below.
It's not above?
I guess going to the root though, the music too. Like the three of us did listen to a lot of like punk rock growing up. Like like old school AFI, Rancid. Ben like would show us a lot, and then like I think that root is still kind of there, and then we all kind of spread out and still like a lot of the same music, but like I feel like that's kind of like a big factor, and like there's always a little bit of that energy, I guess, in the songs, but that's how I kind of see it.
I mean, also, like, we lived in the same bedroom for so long.
Yeah.
Different beds, but
Just one large,
One
or no,
large.
actually one rather small.
you can get some. Do you guys have like fan art? People do that because if someone can get both of those options drawn, send those in.
Just kind of sleeping head to toe.
That's the next T-shirt. So.
Yeah.
Three Stooges.
Wow.
Get the feather coming up out of my mouth when I'm sleeping.
We say that a lot.
Like we literally had like a large amount of the same exact experience, having just lived the same life, but in 3 years apart.
3 years
So,
apart.
When Ben and Jake mentioned all the things that they mentioned, I agree. No, but there's more to that.
Okay.
Yeah, it just it was like be in this bedroom together and be so on top of each other
Keep
in
going.
different beds, and like fight each other and hate each other, or start a band and become best friends. So everyone that we meet, I feel is really surprised that like, oh, you're brothers and you don't hate each other. Like,
Right?
yeah, is that so weird?
I'm also
for everyone?
surprised at that.
They did sprain my right arm over 3 times.
Well,
One time, I was a baby one time.
you were
and I
not a
did not
baby.
deserve
You were
it.
like a young kid.
Like South Park, kick the baby. It was
Yeah.
kick the Jake.
I was just a little Canadian baby.
Baby.
Don't kick the baby. I'm the baby.
Well, you should
Kick me.
have spoke up louder, I guess. Huh?
I was learning English.
Did you find out your drumming arms work?
We have to.
The sitcom comes out next week, folks.
Oh yeah. Hey, Brian.
Hey, what's up, guys? So,
Hanging out.
I wanted to talk about, where the band really started to kind of separate itself, though, was when you brought Alex in. And I think that, especially at that time, the violin really set you apart from just being another, you already had the root of your sound, that punk rock sound. And then the violin just adds this, like, Eastern European kind of sound to it a little bit. Especially like the way he plays also. How did that, I know the story was like you met him at a party, or he was just kind of literally sitting by the campfire playing the violin.
Literally, yeah. It was.
exactly it.
Yeah, I'll be honest. A lot of it had to do with, aside from finding that the right person with the right sound. I was really, really into the band Airborne Toxic Event, their first album. I really resonated with like all musicians. I was going through like a breakup at the time, and that
Of course.
that
Aren't we all?
Aren't we all?
Aren't we all always
I
going
think you
through a
meant
breakup at
specifically
the time?
At that one time.
But yeah, that one time. So I just really resonated with that sound, and they have, like violin, cello.
Yeah.
I really liked the raw emotion that they portrayed that I was also feeling, but I loved like what the strings really brought in. And then lo and behold, we find Alex, who just took to it. He had that kind of almost punk rock, gypsy rock attitude, and he brought it with the strings, and it was just always a blast and so much fun.
Now, as you guys start to sort of coalesce around this, you make the record, the first record in 2014, and this is where the band starts to really, kind of set itself apart, like separate itself, I feel like, because obviously we have to talk about Haunt Me, and the video's been played 10,000 times, and the song on Spotify nearly that many times. That's one of those songs that you're gonna end up having to play forever. But my question to you is, how do you feel a song like that holds you back from continuing to try to experiment with your sound? Do you feel like a little bit beholden, or a little like you're kind of tied to like you can't get too far away from something like that because you've already proven that something works?
It's a kind of a two-tier answer. It's
Okay.
No, I don't feel like it really holds us back, because I feel like we've always just been in the vein of, if we like the sound, we'll do it. Whether it's like what we sound like now, or if we go like hip hop one day, who knows? But
That would be incredible.
I'd be impressed if we can pull it
That'd
off.
be great.
But
Some
so
stuff in the
there's
works.
definitely.
I want to hear Max rap.
Well,
Yeah.
that's you
Here we
got to
go.
pay a
Clearly,
lot of money
Max
for
has
that.
the smoothest flow
Hit his
in We're
recorder.
Ghosts now.
I'll pretend people say that about me a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like that. So I'd say it doesn't hold us back, but it definitely we realize we have a sound, so we do try to kind of keep a little bit towards that. But we're not afraid to veer off course and just see where we end up.
And it's kind of like when the 3 of us are playing, we'll have that sound, and then our 4th kind of like It's like the nice, like the icing on the cake,
Yeah.
I guess.
Sound
But
like,
yeah, as long as they're making the music and happy.
And you released an EP last year, and that was it. There was a what was with the wait? Like, it was good couple of years from the album to the EP. And I mean, I understand kind of having some success with the record lets you sort of live on it for a while. But yeah, any particular reason for the long wait?
Suspense.
Yeah, just keeping everybody, because the EP is excellent.
Well, thank you very much.
you.
I think for us, it was mostly, we seem to have this trend. It's have a band, record, lose the fourth member.
Yeah.
Have a band, record, lose the fourth member. And, like, we kind of stay the same, and the fourth is always
Yeah.
replenishing itself. So we kind of play a little bit of catch up, like, hey, just, like, learn these songs real quick. And
Yeah.
before you know it, it's like 2 years go by, and it's like, no, but seriously, learn these songs real quick. So, but then, like,
Only
let's
happened
keep
3
making
times.
more. So it's just part of our process. We like to keep you waiting.
Well, but you've got a new single now. So it was
Yeah, we
EP,
do.
and now, within a year, a new song. So is this, because you've got, though I know Matt just moved to Philly.
Yep.
Yes.
So is he still part of the band? Is this, are we going to drop some news? Like, what's...
He's still a member of the band. So yeah, he's in Philly now. He's the most adult of us. He actually has a real job, and also he's doing like a fixer upper. So he's just really busy.
So you like bought a house?
Yeah,
He's an apartment.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so he's fixing, like, between him and his friend, he's fixing the whole thing up, and he's gonna flip it eventually.
Okay, so
So
you are
he's very
correct.
busy.
He is absolutely the most adult out of all of us in
Exactly.
the room.
Yeah.
So
Except I'd say maybe with the exception of Jim.
I've already done it, so I'm now don't have to.
Yeah, he's
fixed it. He
graduated.
fixed the house.
Going back around.
Yeah.
So I mean, he's definitely still part of the band, and we actually just talked to him on Friday. It was his official housewarming party. So
Oh, wonderful.
So we cleared the air and said, listen, man, you're as much a part of the band now as you were then. We got that you have work to do. We're gonna keep playing music, and you just let us know when you can come back in, and we'll do what we got to do to keep it going.
Yeah, and how do you make adjustments? Like you said, you kind of have the three of you, and then this four. You have a keyboard player and a prominent sort of supplementary vocalist, and then she goes. You get this violin that really sounds very distinct, and that goes. And now Matt, who is just a monster on guitar. That still managed to kind of keep that sound a little bit set apart from everybody else. And now it seems like, you're going to let him, but he's going to, you're going to let him live his life. And he's going to come back and play, at whatever time he's available.
Mm-hmm.
How do you endure that constant, like, push and pull
So-
on that core sound of yours?
I mean, honestly, core is the main word there, because we realize that we are the core of the sound, and like what Jake was saying before, is that fourth member really brings a little something extra. But we kind of just have a way of writing songs where it sounds great with it, but doesn't entirely need it. So he's definitely the spice of life that makes
Okay.
it just right.
He's
But
our cumin.
yeah.
Cumin.
I like that. Yeah, cumin.
Yeah, I just
Little
like cumin.
dash.
Thought you said human.
He's
Sorry. Thought you said human.
He is a human. At least we suspect.
Yes,
He's a human.
very
Or
much human.
he's
He
a
goes too. He does them
well-programmed
both.
guitar-playing robot.
We're actually incredible engineers and computer programmers, and
Yeah.
that's our secret.
Plug him in, and that's it, and just watch him go.
We just forgot
Quite
the
a show.
batteries.
So Max, you've we don't have too much time left.
I'm ready to take it all up.
But Max, I want to ask you, because you're kind of the constant in all of this. Not that that the other two of you
Sometimes we get
We're
a
not
cardboard
are
cutout,
going
Ben.
anywhere.
Yeah.
But I mean,
I don't know these guys.
Ben, you've been kind of. I think it's safe and accurate to say you're basically the primary songwriter. Jake, you came in slightly later. So in the center of all this, it's kind of been you, Max, while everything happens around
Well,
you.
he's the middle child. We gotta be. Come
Yeah,
on.
I mean,
So what's this experience been like for you?
it's just been really, really emotional. Just constantly.
You don't need to talk about it.
Yeah, no, I'll bring it up later. There's like some post-credit stuff we could do. No, it's fun. I like these guys. They're neat. They look like me. I like being with them.
That's great. And you all still live together too.
We
Yeah.
do.
So you moved from that room to a house now.
Yes,
It's
it just
all-
makes
we're
practice a lot
upbringing.
easier.
I'm sure. So now that you're making these new adjustments? You know, you've got the new single. I see on Instagram and stuff like that. You guys are in the studio, working.
Yes.
Right, working on something, a
Well-
record, an EP, some kind of.
Well, right now we're here, but
But in general, you know, generally speaking, the band has recording sessions in progress.
Yes.
Not at this very moment, Max.
sorry, I misunderstood. Yeah, no,
So
we're doing both those things.
we actually we have 3 singles that we're working on currently.
Wonderful.
So we finished all the recordings. Now we're just working on the mixing. Our friend Sean Kenny from Track East Studios has been just nothing shy of amazing with
I
us.
think they're also 816
And
still.
816, yes.
816
So
and
they
Track
moved
East.
to a new location. But yeah, honestly, he gets our sound. He gets our personality. He's been friends with Max for, I don't know how he's been friends with him this long, but
I'll never tell them.
yeah, but he's really great. And yeah, we're just waiting to hear back from him as far as like the mixes are going, but hopefully
Great.
soon.
Well, my last question for you then, and you know, Aaron's gonna play a little bit, then we're gonna hear a couple songs from you guys. Is you know, like I said, you've gained and lost members. You've got a couple records now. You've got these singles. You know what? You've got the singles, but what's next
If I
for the band?
okay,
Is
so,
there-
Well, we did the full length album.
Yep.
That was great. Then we did the EP. So now we got the singles coming out, but I think after that we're gonna do something like it's like a half single. So it's you stop halfway through the song. We're just kind of diminishing it a little bit
It's
more.
the eyes. He makes you think he's gonna say
Yeah,
something.
you thought that was gonna be
What's
so
actually
serious.
gonna
I'm sorry.
So
You made him quit his job.
Just go.
I gotta.
We're ghosts now, everybody.
I can't. We're out of Span. Oh, we're ghosts now, ladies and gentlemen. That was beautifully painful for me to watch. All right, ladies and gentlemen, One More is brought to you by the Asbury Park Music Foundation. The APMF, or AMP if you're feeling frisky, raises money to support youth music programs throughout Asbury Park to provide lasting skills, self-confidence, and life-changing experiences for the underserved kids in our community. This includes funding for the Hip Hop Institute, the Boys and Girls Club of Monmouth, in-school music programs at Hope Academy, and scholarships for kids to attend the Lake House Music Academy located right over there. APMF, or AMP, also hosts concert series throughout the year, whether it's Music Mondays at Springwood Park, or Asbury Park Live over the summer, Suburbia Friday nights, or the Sunday Songwriter Series. APMF always has something going on. Check out their calendar for more details. If you're interested in making a meaningful difference in the community or keeping Asbury Park's legacy of music alive, head to asburyparkmusiclives.org to make a donation. While you're there, pick up a Music Saved Asbury Park t-shirt. Connor Bracken has like 6 of them, and all proceeds make it possible to support the Music Save My Life youth music program. Jim, as always, thank you so very much for letting us do this every week and now letting your room smell a lot like Korean fusion tacos. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the man, the myth, the cutest member of Aracuda, Aaron Kessler!
So you feel like you've been pushed off the edge of the earth. Think heaven got made this wacky world curved. 'Cause you have to hit the bottom to bounce back. It's gonna hurt, but that's how it works. That boy used your heart like a trampoline. He kept stomping till he tore every seam. And now you're missing that spring in your step. beat the blood rushing through my veins, faster than a river in a hurricane. You make me feel high, so high. Give me the chance to make you feel the same. Ooh, I'll be rebound, baby. Ooh, I'll be rebound, baby. Just lie, lie, lie with me. Say you love me, set yourself free. I'll be rebound, baby. I don't wanna make love just to get you over another man. I wanna make the kind of love that lasts, the kind you can't forget, the kind you'll never have to look for ever again. 'Cause I'll be a rebound, baby. Ooh, I'll be a rebound, baby. Just lie, lie, lie with me. Say you love me, set yourself free. I'll be a rebound, baby. Thank you. Gonna make me blush. If I didn't have this rosacea, you'd be able to tell. But. Got it from Zeke Dental. Yeah. Shout out Zeke Dental. Zeke Dental Jam. Check it out. I wanted this shirt a long time. Finally got one. Okay. You don't come round here no more. The phone doesn't ring and I don't wait by the door. The halls are empty, empty as my chest. My head is screaming, I can't believe you left. And whoa, come on back to me, come on back to me. I'm not good at letting go, I'm not good at goodbye, but I'm great at losing sleep. You're always on my mind. Come on back to me, come on back to me. Why can't you come on back to me? Growing up, I wanted to be just like you, so I grew out my hair and stole your favorite shoes. And when I caught you out back, smoking one of Dad's cigarettes, you best bet I blew a few cloud-shaped silhouettes. And whoa, come on back to me, come on back to me. I'm not good at letting go, I'm not good at goodbye, but I'm great at losing sleep. You're always on my mind. Come on back to me, come on back to me. Why can't you come on back to me? you go without warning. Come on back to me, come on back to me. I'm not good at letting go, I'm not good at goodbye, but I'm great at losing sleep. You're always on my mind. Come on back to me, come on back to me. Why can't you come on back to me, come on back to me, brother, why can't you?
Thank you guys. I got one more here on OneMore. Hey, almost like it was planned. Hey, I didn't write that joke. Is that why you booed? Is it? This is my latest release.
When I first saw you with that Hollywood hair, smiling at me, tried hard not to stare. I was scared, I was shaking, I knew I had to take a chance. Well, I don't know what I would have said if you hadn't grabbed my hand. 'Cause I'm still looking for the words to say how much I love you. I haven't found them yet. Well, I know I say the wrong words sometimes when my tongue gets disconnected from my mind. Blame it on the English language, it's impossible to describe all you do. Well, that don't mean I'm not crazy about you, 'cause I'm still looking for the words to say how much I love you. I haven't found them. It's harder to say how much I love you, how much I need you in my life. Well, thank God I'm still looking for the words to say how much I love you. I haven't found them yet. Wanna look for the rest of my life.
Thank you.
Aaron, I got that right. It's Kessler, right?
Yeah, you got it right.
All right, Aaron Kessler, ladies and gentlemen. Holy God. All right, now, while the Ghost Boys set up, North End Boardwalk Project meeting. Citizens of Asbury Park will get the chance to voice opinions and consult at 7 p.m. Tickets available. Terra Dente Sahara. Yeah, I'm throwing you under the bus any chance I can get. Tara Dentist, Sahara Moon, and Christine Mitchell at the Asbury Hotel at 8 p.m. Colton Kaiser, I haven't seen him in a minute. Alex Squid, Fiducia, and Corey and Kara at the Downtown at 8 p.m. Thursday, January 17th. Remember Jones kicks off Light of Day Winterfest 2019 at the House of Independence at 7 p.m. Light of Day is also having a first note kickoff party featuring Rob Connolly of the Double Negatives, My One True Love, Sahara Moon. Friday, January 18th, Puppy Boy, Fangers, Rustspring, Tiki Torture, and more at the Brighton Bar at 7 p.m. Dentist, Mutual Interest, Grim All Day, and Nude Shoes at Gold Sound at 7 p.m. Toy Cars, Man Dancing, Prim, Cardpool, and Lily Grave at the AP Brewery at 7 p.m. Light of Day Open Mic, the Wonder Bar at 7 p.m. Go see Dave Vargo play one of his many, many hit songs. Little Vicious, Rachel Dobkin, Molly Rith, and Iraq Novels at the APYC at 9 p.m. I think my band, The Burns, is playing at the Asbury Hotel. We're playing at the Asbury Hotel on Friday, I think. Bobby Mahoney. No, Jackson Pines also is on that. Bobby Mahoney is doing the after party. Bobby! Oh, Jesse has a show. Jesse McCormick is going to be playing with Kevin Murray and Alex Gagliastro. Did I do that right? Who knows? Gagliastro at the Downtown Red Bank on January 15th at 8 p.m. That's free.
Thanks, Chris.
No problem at all, Jesse. Saturday, January 19th, Wallbreaker, Drowse, Tough Shit, Stinger, Axe Crazy at the AP Brewery at 7 p.m. Avery Mandeville and the Mandevils, oh God. American Trappist and Nalani and Serena at the APYC at 9 p.m. Kim Boyko, The Wag, Tori, and the Brian Hansen Band are at Glow in New Brunswick at 7 p.m. Dave Vargo, golly, he's got a busy weekend. Joe Anastico, there's no way I got that right. Michael Patrick, Dragonfly. Don't say, what? Don't, okay, there's a whole thing about Dragonfly, it's fine. Reality Suite, Orbinaut, Uncrated, and High Violet at Roxy at Dudes at 7 p.m. Mint 400 Records presents free indie rock night at John and Peters featuring Waxwave, Ruby Bones, Fairmont, This Bliss, A-Bird, and The Extensions. Never heard of them at John and Peters at New Hope at 7:30 p.m. Spirit Pilots, ZFC, The Nowhere, and Hair Magic at Pino's at 8 p.m. Hair Magic. God damn it, Gozer, Poppy, and Chris Tull at Century in Philadelphia at 8 p.m. How did you get that? How did that get on the list? Who invited you to that? Do you know a member of God damn it?
I know Chris Tull.
Oh, it sounds like a nice guy.
I forgot I have another gig.
Oh, you have another gig?
Yeah, I have
When
another
is it?
gig.
When is?
It's on Saturday the 19th with Jen Adams and Cortland Louise in Merchantville.
Where's Merchantville?
South Jersey, baby.
Oh my God! You want to go down to South Jersey? I'm sorry. Sunday, January 20th, Light of Day and Musicians on a Mission present Dan Amano and the Sentimental Gentlemen, High Season, The Well Wish, Sonic Bloom, and The Extensions again. Oh my goodness! 2 chances to see them in just one weekend, folks. That's at the Saint at 12 noon. I'm subbing for The Extensions. Come have some breakfast beers with me. Light of Day presents Songwriters by the Sea featuring Bruce Tunkel, Lisa Bouchel, Sam Sims, and Kyle Ward, Pat Guadano. Oh my God, Pat Guadano, Frank Lombardi, Steve Dulopoulos, and Deirdre Forrest at Langosta Lounge at 3 p.m. And close out your weekend at the New Street Balcony as Brittany on Fire brings you soft sounds, creative wonders featuring R.J. Nobles, whose birthday was last week, Dave Mooney, Brianna Musco, Joe Gallupo, the one, the only, Pamela Flores, Jeff Linden, and Ronette Smith. New Street Balcony, 4 p.m. Ask a punk and bring something for the potluck, you filthy mooch. And now, ladies and gentlemen, everyone's favorite spooky boys, we're ghosts now!
True. I told you to leave here, but you keep coming back. I told you I mean it, but you're a steel train on a track. You call my name, I run away when not understand. I told you to leave here, but you keep coming back. You're my personal heart attack. It feels like forever since the very first time I laid eyes on you. I can almost remember what it was like before I knew the real you. You were so clever, hiding the seed right behind your smile. One cold December, how could I not see this coming from miles? I told you to leave told you I mean it. You're a steel train on a track. You call my name, I run away with not to understand. I told you to leave here, but you keep coming back. You're my personal heart attack. Well, you turned away, and I still stayed here. Well, look at you now, you're oh so sincere. Looking through my window, I can see you clearly now. Somehow, but I told you to leave here, but you keep coming back. I told you I mean it, but you're a steel train on a track. You call my name, I run away without to understand. I told you to leave here, but you keep coming back. You're my personal heart attack. What don't you understand? Thank you. You're too kind. You're too kind. We never practice. Here goes another one for y'all. I spend so much time in the darkness, wandering mindless and thoughtless. No straight path, just weaving, just content, no feeling. Then you came in my life, bringing with you all the light. I see you, you see me, my heart skips a beat. How you complete me. How you complete me. We were 5 years in the making, and I'm so glad that we waited. Back then I was not me, still needed much growing. Now your smile brings me joy, like some thought I'd never employ. Your sweet kiss consumes me, not mischief, much sweating. How you complete me. How you complete me. Promises made in the dark. How they echo through the night. And when the morning comes, you're there, glowing in the sun. You're there with all my love. My heart, it goes. complete me.
Max, Jake, and Ben. We're ghosts now, everybody.
Thank you so much.
Where's Aaron? Let's bring Aaron back. Jesse, come on out.
Are we gonna sit down?
Oh yeah. Let's sit down. Yeah, no, this was really nice this week. Yeah, no, you stay.
Okay.
Yeah, no. So we had some laughs, you know. We had a few laughs, shared a few tears,
Learned
right?
a couple of valuable lessons about life, love.
Yeah.
You got anything?
No. Wow, Max. Wow, thank
Got a
you.
new season, new sign off?
No, I don't, but I'd like to thank, obviously, Jim Lenscold, Asbury Park Music Foundation, our new sponsor, Mogo Korean Fusion Tacos, for Chris Dubrow, Jesse McCormick, Aaron Kessler, and we're ghosts now, for Matt Smith, our fearless producer. From the Asbury Park Music Foundation, I have been, and I remain Brian Erickson. See you next week.